in the forthcoming gubernatorial election. Governor's Office correspondent Soya Noridi has the detail.
The campaign rally toward the re-election of Governor Adeboye Oyetola in the forthcoming gubernatorial election moved to Ede and Egbedore federal constituency. Governor Oyetola, who paid a courtesy visit to the palace of Ogiyan of Ejigbo and Alawo of Awo to receive royal blessings, noted that despite incredible wave of infrastructural developments as well as numerous welfare packages for the citizenry within the limited resources recorded across the state, reassured the residents that the administration will continuously explore initiatives in improving the lot of Osun people. Ogiyan of Ejigbo, Oba Omowonola Oyesosin, Alawo of Awo, Oba Abdurasak Taiwo Adeboye, flanked by traditional rulers and chiefs in the area, lauded Governor Adeboye Oyetola for his unique and tenacious approach to governance, which is yielding bountiful dividends of democracy across the state. Addressing the teeming crowd at Baptist Day Primary School, Awo and Ejigbo Market of his vision for a greater and prosperous state of Osun, Governor Adeboye Oyetola maintained that the emergence of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the presidential flag bearer has further put the state of Osun at vantage position to enjoy more unprecedented developments with the All Progressive Congress-led administration if re-elected in the 16th July gubernatorial election.
I think we've done very well. We've done their roads, they have been neglected for about 25-30 years. We have done the internal roads. We have rehabilitated the general hospital. Yes, it's natural for people to ask for more. We still try our best to give them more of the dividend of democracy, particularly the areas of infrastructure. We have a lot of infrastructure deficit, not only in our state, but all over the country. So we continue to ensure we rehabilitate as many roads as we can, particularly during the summer, the grace of Almighty God.
A theme equally enunciated by the state chairman of the All Progressive Congress, Prince Boyega Famodum, the Director General of Oyetola's Campaign Council, Senator Ajibola Bashir, Ambassador Adejare Bello, former members of House of Representatives, Honorable Majid Alabi, Honorable Bade Falade, the chairman of Ejigbo Local Government Area, Honorable Bolan Ayegbayo, the chairman of Egbedore Local Government Area, Honorable Wole Fawande, as well as re-emphasizing the need for the sustenance of good governance as demonstrated by Governor Adeboye Oyetola across the state.
Ejigbo people are people that are ready to pay back the good deeds of Mr. Governor come July 16. And people are ready to exercise their civic rights by voting emas for Mr. Governor.
The chance of the governor, I want to believe that everything is perfectly okay by having Asiwaju as our presidential candidate. It is a plus for the party at the western region, in Osun State here, and in Nigeria in general.
Dignitaries on ground that lent hands of solidarity, including the wife of the governor, Mrs. Kavayat Oyetola, the deputy governor, Mr. Benedict Alabi, former deputy governor, Mrs. Grace Titilaoye Bonle, the secretary to the state government, Prince Wole Oyebameji, members of the State Executive Council, members of the State House of Assembly, as well as stewards and members of the All Progressive Congress from across the state. From the Governor's Office, Sanya Onoide reporting.
Meanwhile, residents of Obagu community in the federal local government area of Osun State have said their community is not for the highest bidder in the July 16 gubernatorial election. They said the people of Obagu have outgrown infertile politics of trading their conscience for money, adding that those seeking to water down democratic ideals with purposeless spending can take their money elsewhere. The residents, however, lauded Governor Adeboye Oyetola for his outstanding performances across the state and in Obagu specifically, stressing their resolve to support a tested and trusted hand. This is at the campaign committee of the All Progressive Congress in Ifelodun Borikwe Odo, the federal constituency, continued its strategic consultation in Iba and Obagu communities following the flag-off of Agba Ororuo and Ada community. Speaking with Nisman during the consultation, the councillor representing Ward 11 Obagu, Kabir Okpakunle, said the community's decision to support Oyetola was on the basis of his intervention in the community, which have improved the conditions of the people. He particularly lauded Governor Oyetola's initiative of feeding 30,000 vulnerable citizens every month, saying the relief that the initiative has brought to beneficiaries amid harsh economic reality in the country was unquantifiable. All is set for tomorrow's governorship election in Ekiti State. OSBC news reporter Adeyemi Abodere, who is in Ado-Ekiti, reports that the Independent National Electoral Commission has signified its readiness to conduct a free, fair, transparent, and credible poll. The report.
As to the commencement of the Ekiti State governorship election, arrangements are in top gear as the Independent National Electoral Commission has continued to fix every possible loopholes. An early morning visit to the Ekiti State headquarters of the electoral umpire along New Inyi Ekiti Road in the state capital, Ado-Ekiti, revealed the seriousness of officials of the commission in putting everything right ahead of the D-Day. All ad hoc officials that will see to the smooth conduct of the eagerly awaited election were being transported to each of the 16 local government areas of the state when OSBC News called in the morning, while other necessary hands are being tidied up. Election observers from various organizations, including foreign observers, were also seen observing the distribution and allocation of human and material resources to various locations. Sensitive materials such as result sheets and ballot papers have been distributed to all the local government under the eagle eye of security operatives. Security situation in Ado-Ekiti, the state capital, and surrounding towns have improved as combined team of military, police, and civil defense personnel have been deployed to every necessary spot. Ado-Ekiti is observed to be calm as residents continue to move around peacefully and unhindered while awaiting tomorrow's poll. Different political parties jostling to succeed the incumbent, Kayode Fayemi, used the last day of the campaign yesterday to canvass for the votes of the electorate. Since 1999, 4 individuals, namely former governors Adeniyi Adebayo, Ayodele Fayose, Segun Oni, and the incumbent, have dominated the political space in the state. Interestingly, the 4 will be involved in the battle on who succeed Kayode Fayemi and preserved their influence. The duo of Adeniyi Adebayo, who is the current Minister of Trade, Investment and Industry, and Kayode Fayemi, are throwing everything to install the candidate of the ruling All Progressive Congress. On the other hand, Ayodele Fayose, who was instrumental to the emergence of the People's Democratic Party candidate and former state chairman of the party, Bisi Kolawole, is determined to deliver victory for the opposition party. Engineer Segun Oni, who had only one term between 2007 and 2010 before he was sacked by the court, is launching a comeback to the government house for a second term, this time on the platform of the Social Democratic Party, which has been described as the third force. Fayemi, who is the chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, will be using the election to make a statement on his political strength, not only nationally, but at home. The poll is also an important exercise for Fayose, having failed in his bid to install a successor in 2018. Fayose will be deploying everything to sway the vote in favor of Bisi Kolawole. In the meantime, security personnel have embarked on show of strength around Ado-Ekiti, the state capital, ostensibly to warn those planning to disrupt tomorrow's poll. The combined team of soldiers, police, civil defense personnel, and other sister agencies patrol around to assure the electorate of their safety before, during, and after the election. Similarly, election observer groups have enjoined Ekiti voters to shun violent tendencies that could affect smooth conduct of tomorrow's election. In a statement today, they advised them against trading their votes for money. Adeyemi Abodeni, reporting for OSBC News from Ado-Ekiti.
In another development, the National Pension Commission has said only 4 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory have commenced the payment of pensions to employees under the Contributory Pension Scheme. They are Osun, Lagos, Kaduna Delta, and the Federal Capital Territory. The agency disclosed in its latest report titled Status of Implementation of the CPS by the state and the FCT for the first quarter of 2022. PENCOM also announced that the commencement of the 2022 online verification and enrollment exercise for retirees, prospective retirees of federal government treasury-funded ministries, departments, and agencies from Monday. The exercise, which will be done online, will also cover employees of federal government treasury-funded MDAs who missed the enrollment exercise in the previous years. Prior to the enrollment, PENCOM urged all retirees as well as prospective retirees to visit their pension fund administrators and undergo the data recapture exercise. The state government of Osun has appealed for more cooperation from the people in its effort at controlling erosion in the state. Special Advisor to the Governor on Environment and Sanitation, Mr. Rufus Oyewile, made the appeal while speaking with OSBC News. Omotayo Adebodu has the details.
And then transport it to another location where it is deposited. While erosion is a natural process, human activity have increased by 10 to 40 times the rate at which erosion is occurring globally. Erosion causes both on-site and off-site problems. Erosion will often occur after rock has been disintegrated or altered through weathering. Weathered rock materials will be removed from its original site and transported away by a natural agent, with both processes often operating simultaneously. The best way to distinguish erosion from weathering is by observing the transportation of materials. Recall that World Bank, in partnership with the federal and state government, have invested about 379.6 billion naira on various erosion control projects in 23 states. According to the World Bank, the funds were spent on the Nigerian Erosion and Watershed Management Project, as some other donors agencies contributed about $9 million to the fund, which was used within a period of 10 years. Speaking with OSBC News on the effort of the state government of Osun in controlling erosion, the special advisor to the governor on environment and sanitation, Honorable Rufus Oyewile, lauded Governor Adegboyega Oyetola for his people-friendly administration. He further stated that the administration has begun dredging and distilling of canals and waterways before and during the rainy season.
Every dry season, we carry out qualitative and quantitative dredging. What do I mean by this? It's only during the dry season you'll be able to see the invert level of the waterway. Again, the materials being dug, when put on the embankments, form very hard, stony materials, which protects the embankment from collapsing. And under high water pressure, under erosion or flood water, such banks does not give way. This we've been doing every dry season since we came on board.
He then appealed to the good people of the state to desist from throwing refuse in flowing rivers so as to allow free flow of waterways. It would be recalled that flooding has become a perennial problem in Nigeria, while the degree and seriousness of the natural disaster differs yearly. Omotayo Adebodu, OSBC News.
Nigerians have called on the federal government and other stakeholders in the communication sector to put in place certain policies and restrictions to the use of social media so as not to promote immorality in the society. They made a call while reacting to the recent concerns raised on the use of social media in promoting fake and unreliable information with posed threats to the society. Our reporter, Oluwatobi Lobaudunga, has the details.
Nigerians are avid users of the social media, as at last year, Nigerians are said to spend an average of 3 hours and 41 minutes on social media every day. This is significantly higher than the global average of 2 hours 22 minutes between January 2020 and January 2021, as the number of active social media users in Nigeria increased by 22% compared with a global average increase of 13%. According to report, Nigeria currently has 187.9 million mobile connections. This means that 90% of Nigerians, about 208 million population, have mobile phones, and about 104 million, or just about 50% of Nigerians, are regular internet users. Social media can be a force for good and a bulwark against tyranny, with Nigerians spending about a quarter of the average waking time on social media. To this end, Nigerians have reacted to the recent concerns raised on the mismanagement of the use of the social media in promoting fake and unreliable information, which poses threats to the society. Speaking with OSBC News in separate interviews, respondents, including Mr. Bamigbade Mohammed, Mr. Tunji Omofoyi, and Mr. Ashiru Adedayo, maintain that there are many advantages to the use of the social media and at the same time disadvantages.
Social media will make a great impact because a lot of people will be cooking up news that are not genuine, things that are not genuine, and we've been clamoring for this, that social media should be censored or should be regulated in such a way that anything that is put out there will be verified and there will be fact-based.
Social media is full of a lot of potentials, but we discovered that it has come to pollute the media system in a way, particularly with those who are trying to abuse the platform.
They need to regulate it and make sure it functions effectively the way and the manner that it won't affect or pose any threats to our community or society.
They noted that Nigerians should be more concerned about the use of the social media and also engage with the new media technologies on how such technologies can change the society for good. Oluwa Tobiloba Odunuga reporting for OSBC News.
The 2022 Hajj Passport Management Committee of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria has been assured of necessary support by the Motorwave for African Non-Arab Pilgrims in Mecca as the team begins operation in the Holy City. The head of ICT and ETRAC Division of the Motorwave for African Non-Arab Pilgrims, Mr. Himad Kaush, gave the assurance when the Deputy Coordinator Mecca Office of the Commission, Mr. Ali Dushuti, led the management team to the office of Motorwave. Mr. Imad stressed that their company will facilitate the work of the team throughout the 2022 Hajj exercise. Mr. Shuti hinted that the team has put in place by the leadership of the commission is to understudy the workings of the field offices who are saddled with the responsibility of keeping pilgrims' passports. The NACON Deputy Coordinator in Mecca solicited continuous collaboration with the Commission in all our activities, adding that the Commission will continue to tap from the experiences of the company in the Hajj management. Deputy Speaker of Kogi State House of Assembly, Honorable Mohammed, has been impeached in an emergency sitting held at the State Assembly Complex, Lokoja. Today, the lawmakers accused Honorable Mohammed and 3 other principal officers of gross misconduct and arbitrary use of office. In a motion of urgent importance by Honorable N.M. Paul, he said 17 lawmakers signed the impeachment of Honorable Ahmed Mohammed and the suspension of 3 other principal officers in the House. The 3 officers removed from office and later suspended from the House are Bello Azan Balogun, Majority Leader, Idris Ndaku, Deputy Majority Leader, Honorable Edoko Moses Ododo, Chief Whip. The House, however, announced Alpha Momo Rabiu as the new Deputy Speaker. The Supreme Court of Nigeria has granted the use of hijab by female Muslim students in Lagos State government-owned schools. The court gave the judgment in an appeal Lagos State government and ORS versus Aishat Abdulkareem. The court dismissed an appeal by the Lagos State government and upheld the earlier judgment of the Court of Appeal, which held that the ban on hijab was discriminatory against Muslim students in the state. The Supreme Court of Nigeria has ruled that the Muslim students can wear hijab in secondary schools. Justice Kudirat Kekereku held that the ban on hijab was discriminatory against the Muslim students in Lagos State in the judgment. Other justices in the panel were Justice Oluwakayode Ariwola, Justice John Iyan Okoro, Justice Uwani among others. The Ondo State government under Rotimi Akeredolu failed to withhold its emotion. The Ondo State Governor Rotimi Akeredolu failed to withhold his emotion today at the funeral mass for victims of the terror attack at St. Francis Catholic Church, Owaluwa, Owo, Ondo State. Governor Akeredolu and his wife Betty Anyanwu Akeredolu attended the funeral mass held at Midas Resort and Hotel, Owo. The TRE governor, while recounting the terror attack, lamented that the government failed to defend the victims of the attack. The governor said the government has failed to defend these people because the forces on the other side are evil and have support. The governor noted that something must be done in the country, adding that security architecture of the country needs rejigging. In a swift response, the Bishop of Ondo Catholic Diocese, Dr. Jude Arumudade, declared that Akeredolu had not failed in protecting his people. The cleric wondered why the people of the country need to beg for state police despite the endless attack and killings. Now welcome to our sports segment. Bayern Munich have secured a deal below Liverpool's £42.2 million evaluation of forward Sadio Mane, however, already turned down 2 offers from Bundesliga year of his off-field contract. Omatayo Adebodun has details of this and more from the world of sports.
Liverpool have agreed to sell Sadio Mane to Bayern Munich for a deal worth of £35.1 million. Bayern will pay an initial £27.5 million with a further £5 million based on appearances. The Bundesliga club will pay another £2.5 million based on individual and team achievements. The deal surpassed what Liverpool paid for Mane, £31 million plus £2.5 million in add-ons, with Southampton not getting any additional money. Mane has been called to the club's success over the past 6 seasons, so will depart with their blessing and gratitude. Liverpool has been conscious of needing to evolve without sentiment as a driving factor and have efficiently recalibrated their attack with the recruitment of Diego Jota, Luis Diaz and Darwin Núñez. Meanwhile, Porto have confirmed the deal to sell midfielder Fabio Vieira to Arsenal for £34 million, including add-ons. The 22-year-old Portuguese is the Gunners' third summer arrival after goalkeeper Matt Turner and Brazilian forward Marquinhos. Arsenal will pay £30 million up front plus £4 million in performance-related add-ons. Vieira won the Player of the Tournament award at last year's Under-21 Championship. Vieira will add further creative talent to Arsenal's rank, with the highly rated midfielder having laid up a league-high 14 assists in 2021-22 Primera La Liga campaign. He scored 6 league goals for Porto in 15 starts last season and has scored 13 goals in 21 appearances for Portugal Under-21. In the meantime, the Egyptian Football Association has sacked Ehab Galal as coach after just 3 games in charge of the national team. Galal, who is 54 years, replaced Carlos Corcoran in April after the Pharaohs failed to qualify for the 2022 World Cup, but he was dismissed after a shock 2-0 defeat to Ethiopia in a 2023.
On the foreign scene, a bomb blast at a mosque in northern Afghanistan killed at least 1 worshipper and wounded several others during today's Jummah service. The police said explosion occurred in the northern province of Kuduz in the district where dozens of worshippers died in April in a similar bomb attack. Provincial Police Lieutenant Kwari Obaidullah Abedi said 1 worshipper had been killed in the blast at the Alif British Mosque in Imam Shahib district. Abedi said the explosives were placed inside the mosque as the blast occurred when worshippers were offering prayer at the mosque. To round up today's major report, here again are the main points. The National Pension Commission has said Osun is among 4 states and the Federal Capital Territory that have commenced the payment of pension to employees under the contributory pension scheme. Governor Orotimi Akeredolu of Ondo State mourned the 40 Owo Church massacre victims buried amid tears. Also, in Afghanistan, bomb blast hit one dead, several sustained injuries during Jumat service today. That ends the major report on OSBC TV. It was edited by Timitope Abdulkarim. Babatunde Bolatito is my name. Thank you for watching. Good night.
StarTimes ti dé pẹ̀lú eré alárinrin white flower. Bí ẹ ti mọ̀ pé a fẹ́ràn yín, la ṣe pinnu láti ṣe àfihàn white flower eré òde òyìnbó sí èdè Yorùbá fún ìgbádùn yín. Agbẹjọ́rò Dante Cruz àti aya rẹ̀ ló ṣèkúngẹ́ ikú òjì lọ́wọ́ àwọn agbanipa látàrí ẹ̀rí ìwà àjẹbánu èyí tí ó ń tọpinpin lórí gómìnà Julio Andante àti ọmọ rẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n orúkọ ọmọ wọn Lily yọ ní ọjọ́ náà. Ta ló pa mòfin ọ̀hún? Kí ni padàbọ̀ Lily sílùú Andante? White flower yóò mọ̀ wá sójú ìwòran yín lórí ìkànnì ST Yorùbá lóṣù karùn-ún yìí láti ọjọ́ Ajé sí ọjọ́ Ẹtì dédé aago 8 àṣálẹ́ lórí ìkànnì táwa yìí. ST Yorùbá ọmọ káàárọ̀ òjíire.
Ìlérí Olúwa, ìlérí Olúwa. Ẹ̀yin ènìyàn wa níbo ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun lágbàpọ̀ Barrister Yomi Ogunwale ló rán mi sí yín. Wọ́n ní ká múra o, ká fi ìgbàdo kan sọ̀jà, ká dúró tán lórí ìṣọ̀kan wa pé ìlérí Olúwa ni kó tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ẹ̀kan sí nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun. Mélòó la fẹ́ kà nínú àrà bàbá àrà tọkọ Kàfáyà ti dá nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun. Àkàǹkà tá a ṣe orí láàrin àkókò péréte lọ́jọ́ 16 oṣù keje ọdún tá a wà yìí. Ẹ bá ti rámì ìgbálẹ̀ ẹ tẹ̀síwájú ẹ̀. Ìlérí Olúwa ni ó tún ṣẹ torí pé ìpadàbọ̀ ìlérí Olúwa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí yóò ti lọ pé wájú nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun. Ẹ wá gbọ́ o, ẹ má jẹ́ káwọn ènìyàn kan ó lu ọgbọ́n àlùmọ̀kọ́rọ́ yìí fìgbà ká